That's where I'm going. Right? Pressure with on here. Here. There you go. Keep your left, right.
3, 2, 7.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. What, he thinks I got hit in the head too many times. Jimbo Covert, right?
Yeah, you bet.
Are you sure? Do you have ID?
I do have ID.
You know what? If I go to PITT Stadium, I see your face in the end zone.
Yeah.
You know what? Jimbo Covert, NFL legend, PITT legend, Joe Moore camp. We've heard so many good things about Coach. 14th year at camp, Jimbo. Why do you think his legacy endures?
I just think it's because of the impact he had on so many guys. And a lot of these guys are here. I'm one of them. Joe just had a unique way of, just motivating you and making you kind of stretch further than you could ever stretch and really achieve things that you never thought you could achieve. And then he just took great pride in seeing you succeed. So, he was just a remarkable person, great technician, probably the best offensive line coach I've ever lived. And, that's why I'm here, to honor him and get to see some of the guys that I played with and know as offensive line guys.
Look, you talked about Coach getting the best out of the players. We talked to some guys like Russ has no problem saying, I hated the man when I played for him because he, like a drill sergeant, he would get underneath your skin. If a guy's picking on you, we'll call it picking on you, it means he likes you, doesn't it? I mean, if a coach isn't saying a word to you, it means you got no talent, he's got no hope for you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But Joe wanted to get the best out of you. He knew how to get there. He'd figure out a way. He'd identify, what made you tick, what motivated you, and then he got after you. And Russ is right. There's some days I hate him, but in the end I love him. And he's the reason why I was so successful. It's all because of him.
Wow, that's a huge statement. That's a huge statement. We know Coach put some 52, 53 guys in the NFL. That's a lot of humility to look back and say, my coach did this for me.
Yeah, I was playing defense. I was getting a little bit of playing time, but I wasn't playing as much as I wanted to as a regular. And Joe asked me if I wanted to move the offensive line, and at first I didn't want to, but it was an opportunity for me to play, and I jumped at it, and I got to play for him for 3 years, and he always said I had no bad habits because I wasn't playing offensive line, I was playing defensive line, and I was like a white sheet of paper, and he was able to do what he wanted to, and for me, it was a big difference in my life.
Okay, so your pro career goes great as well. We talked about technique. What was the one fundamental that you took into the pros that Coach Moore taught you?
Well, I just think playing offensive line is not rocket science. It really isn't. You don't need all these fancy things and everything. You can do them with shields and cones. Mirror dodge, shields for run block, mirror dodge for pass blocking. That's basically it. And it's not very difficult. You got to stay square, right? And you got to get leverage. And so if you can stay square and get leverage, if you stay square, your feet are always going to be a good place. If you get leverage and your helmet's underneath their helmet, you're going to be successful. Joe always said, if their helmet's here, your helmet has to be there.
Yeah.
And you just have to get leverage. And so, a lot of guys don't teach that. Guys don't stay square anymore because everything's zone blocking, everything's no point of attack. There's no upfield blocking anymore. It's a different game right now.
They talk about scheme so much. Well, we got to use this scheme and that scheme. It's fundamental. It's technique, and I think that's the enduring legacy of Joe Moore, that if we took all the guys that played in the pros here, Mark Stepnowski, all the guys that have played in the pros, Emil over there, you guys could all say 3 things, and they're all the same 3 things.
Yeah. And, offensive line now is just this way, stepping this way. When I played, it was stepping this way, and it was all point of attack, and now it's this way, right? So, I pulled 5 or 6 times as a tackle a game, and you don't see that anymore. You don't see guards pulling.
Nobody knows how to pull.
Yeah.
You got to throw that elbow, turn that body.
No one gets in space and runs. It's a different game, but, it's still a great game. It's just, they feel like it's easier to block guys by getting them going in the direction they want to go.
Is that how you do that?
Well, rather than moving them in a direction they don't want to go. And so that's the difference. And I think they figured that out, that, hey, if we can get a scheme where we're reach blocking and we're zone blocking, they're going to read across your face, and then you can get them going that way, and then there's a cut back, and running back try to find softness.
So does that work against Dan Hampton?
I don't think it does. I mean, I think he goes right around you and makes the tackle. So, I mean, it's just a different scheme.
One last question. Who's the toughest defensive lineman? Not the best skilled, just crazy psycho. I don't want to go up against him because this guy's missing a few Cracker Barrels. In there.
Well, I don't know about all that. I just know the best guy I ever played against was a guy named Leroy Sullivan. Hands down, best I ever played against. He played in the 3-man line up in Tampa Bay. He was a 5 technique guy, and he brought it every play. I mean, every single play. He was a great pass rusher, great run protector. I mean, best guy I ever played against him.
PITT Pitt.
You got it.